All right, guys, many people are looking at August. Things are quieting down here on the back end of August and asking themselves, is the selling season over for the year? Now, this question has continued to evolve since COVID hit. And before COVID, there was a certain cycle, a seasonal cycle to the real estate selling year in New Jersey. Once COVID hit, however, that kind of went out the window and we saw pretty much a selling season all year round. There was no real defined lines of being quiet or busy again. But over the last couple of years, as I mentioned on many of my social platforms, we've seen a return every year a little more to that seasonal market. And what ends up happening in the seasonal market is you get that long spring market where there's a ton of activity, a ton of new listings that come on, and a lot of buyer activity to buy up those new listings. What many people don't realize is that in the seasonal market, that the fall market actually has a little hidden pop in there, and that there is a time frame in that late September through early November that historically we would see another uptick in transactions that go under contract. Now, from a seller perspective, this is unique because you're actually going to be competing with a lot less people than you would in a spring market. Of course, the buyer demand cycle is a little lower because people are settled in school and a lot of them have made their decision for the year. But I do encourage you to consider the fact that after Labor Day is one of the prime selling pockets of the year for the year to get a home under contract before you enter into that winter freeze. So I encourage anyone, if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I want to sell my house, I'm not sure if this is the right time, feel free to reach out, give me a shout, and I'll look over the historical trend in your town and share some of that with you. And you'll see very clearly that there is one more spurt left in this market. And timing is important because if you miss it, because it's much smaller than that spring market, like I said before, you will end up in the winter market before you know it. And that is a place you just do not want to be. As always, my name is Bill Boswell with the Omega Real Estate Group. And when it comes to real estate, your search ends right here.